been a good last couple weeks for the Democrats, and I think this clip pretty much sums it up.
We cannot let this, we've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health.
So I don't know what the fuck he was saying. I don't think most people know what the fuck he's saying. Honestly, my theory is that most people don't give a fuck what he's saying, just that they give a fuck what he stands for, maybe, and what the people that are backing him say about him. Okay, but on to more serious news. For the last couple of weeks, a sexual allegation, I posted this already, a sexual allegation has come out against Biden. And, okay, first, I want to say something. We shouldn't obviously take this allegation to be true from the surface. Obviously, I think the believe women hashtag or whatever should actually be more like don't neglect women and conduct the investigation to see if it's true, because we can't just believe women on the spot, because obviously there's people with certain interests that have that interest to lie about that kind of stuff. So that's what we should do. But the thing that's really disgusting here is the lack of coverage from the large conglomerates at the media. Specifically, I'm talking about MSNBC and CNN. Where's the fucking coverage? I mean, 538 coverage did, The Economist, The Hill, obviously Fox and them covered it already. But a lot of even not just leftists like the Salon or the American Prospect covered it, but just center left, kind of center left. Media outlets covered it, but there's no coverage from the mass media, and that's really just shows a freaking bias. You know, it's convenient to cover the events that are corresponding to the Me Too movement when it's in the Republican side, but when it's not, well, maybe we should hold off on it. That's a little hypocritical, a little bit disgusting, and in my opinion. And apparently there's this, I don't know what to call her, a political activist. I don't know what to call her, but her name is Alyssa Milano. Apparently, she's a big shot among center left people. People see her as maybe a leader. She was all in the Kavanaugh hearings and all of that. And first, I'll play this clip. First, hear what she has to say about this situation.
Societally change that mindset to believing women, but that does not mean at the expense of not, giving men their due process and investigating situations.
I like that.
And giving, it's got to be fair in both directions.
Okay.
So, I've been very vocal about Biden and my support for him. I've known him for a long time, and I did do my due diligence because part of it was that, and the article that sort of stood out to me was that Time's Up decided not to take the case. And so,
that was important to you. That meant, well, maybe there's more to this story here.
Right. I did my work and I spoke to Time's Up, and I just don't feel comfortable throwing away a decent man that I've known for 15 years.
Yep.
In this time of complete chaos without there being a thorough investigation.
Yep.
I'm sure that mainstream media would be jumping all over this as well if
we weren't in a pandemic. If there was more credible, if there was evidence
if they found more evidence or through their investigation. So I'm just kind of staying quiet about it. And because I'm staying quiet about it,
you were getting dragged on Twitter by Bernie Bros.
So again, I'm not really sure who she is. If any of you look up to her, then really start questioning the people you look up to. But that's not the point here. The point is that she is a fucking hypocrite, for sure. Because the things she brings up are almost the exact same thing the Trump supporters brought up during the Kavanaugh case. And then, that just shows you, again, the hypocritical side of Democrats as a leader of the Democrats, of the people, of the electorate that actually vote in the elections, because she brings up some of the same points. Some of them are she's not comfortable throwing away a decent candidate during an important time. I mean, Republicans are saying the same thing about Kavanaugh. We need a thorough investigation. How the fuck are we supposed to have a thorough investigation when the large media conglomerates don't even want to cover it? Mainstream media would twist the story for their narrative. Okay. The logic in this is very apparent, but you can clearly see this is not the case. This is not a rightful case, because if you're arguing that the right is gonna, frame this a different way, then you're making it seem like we shouldn't present it in the first place because of that sole reason. And that doesn't make any sense, because then we can't present it in the first place when someone else can take advantage of it. I hope you get what I mean by that. It doesn't matter if other people are going to take advantage of it. It matters that it's out there and that we conduct a rightful probe of the situation. So, it's just hypocrisy all over the place. And frankly, it's just that we present it when it benefits us and we don't when it doesn't benefit us. So that's something the Democrat Party has to look internally on. And another thing. So the Wisconsin primary came out. And, as everybody knows, Biden won. And I just want to show you one thing Biden said.
A convention having tens of thousands of people in one arena is very different than having people walk into a polling booth with accurate spacing to 6 to 10 feet apart, one at a time, going in and have machines scrubbed down. But I do think there are going to be a lot more. I think you could hold the election as well, dealing with mail-in ballots and same-day registration. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be done. That's for the Wisconsin courts and folks to decide. But I think it's possible to do both, to have both more mail-in ballots. People, and today is the last day, I guess, till 5 o'clock to ask for one. There's an hour time difference from where I am in Wisconsin. And I think it could be done based on what I've been hearing from the news and what I understand the governor and others are saying. But that's for them to decide.
So, as you can clearly see, he wasn't trying to warn voters that it's kind of dangerous during one of the worst pandemics of our era to go out there and start voting. Just notice that. But the main thing I want to highlight is the lack of leadership. During this time when we're all criticizing Trump, he's fucking killing people, the main guy from the opposition isn't acting like a leader. Oh, I'm going to just leave it to the courts and the legislative body from there. Oh, not giving an opinion that maybe this shouldn't fucking be happening if people are going to possibly, the fact is that they are, but possibly are going to die. So, there's the lack of leadership. And you can say, if you look at my post and all that, you're a Bernie bro. You just probably wanted to hold off the Wisconsin primary, so maybe he had a chance in the future. That's not the case, because this is not. I mean, he fucking lost already. Why would I be making this video when he already fucking lost criticizing Biden? No, because it's a lack of leadership. It's a lack of morals, because he knew if this was over with, he could take advantage of it, because he did win. That's obviously the case. And just to add, Bernie actually did come out against this. And this is why they want to replace the guy with freaking Cuomo. That makes you notice that the same people, the DNC and the mass media that pitched this candidate to you only because of his popularity, and now they want to replace him because, he's not fit to be president, maybe. At some point, you got to realize that they're just toying with you.